All right, folks, it is Tuesday, Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, everybody. It is time for Tuesday tier rankings where we look at every quarterback, whichever quarterbacks played the most in week 16 for all 32 NFL teams. And we put them into one of these 5 tiers: great, good, fine, poor, or trash. I've done this every Tuesday this season, and at the end of the year, at the end of the season, I'm going to go back through and see where these guys end up as a whole based on where I put them each week during the season. Going by division, starting in the NFC East with the rookie sensation Jayden Daniels. This dude is unbelievable, and he was great this week. I mean, just going against an Eagles team. I know Jalen Hurts got hurt, but going against an Eagles team that had won like 12 games in a row, as hot as any team in the league. The Commanders are not going to catch them in the division, but this was such a great win for the Commanders. And Jayden Daniels, just an unbelievable rookie season. Cooper Rush with the Dallas Cowboys. Thought Cooper Rush was good. And here's the thing. At this point in the season, a lot of these teams are eliminated. A lot of these teams are playing backup quarterbacks. You just kind of get what you get. But I will say this about Cooper Rush. I think Cooper Rush has done a good job for the Cowboys since he had to come in when Dak got hurt. I think Cooper Rush has done a very good job. I think he's either been fine or good every week on this tier ranking. I'll see at the end of the season. But Cooper Rush has done a good job, and I think he has earned himself a spot on a roster for many years to come. Drew Lock, I mean, it's just poor. The Giants are so bad. And it just, they're counting down the seconds to this season being over so that they can go do something else at quarterback. And Drew Lock was just pretty poor against the Falcons. Kenny Pickett. For the first time this season, we mentioned Kenny Pickett. As I said, Jalen Hurts got hurt for the Eagles. Kenny Pickett had to play most of the game. I'm going to say Kenny Pickett did fine. I always am going to show some grace for these guys who are backups and they have to come into the game against good teams. I mean, he came in having to go against a good Washington Commanders defense, and the Eagles lost by 3. It took late game heroics from Jayden Daniels for the Commanders to win this game. And I thought this was, Kenny Pickett had them in a position to win. He's a backup quarterback, put in a situation against a good team. I understand that. But I thought Kenny Pickett did fine. Josh Allen, I mean, listen. I think Josh Allen should win MVP. I'm going to say this particular week, he was fine. The Bills as a whole, I think when you look back on their season, this win over the Patriots was not one of their best performances of the season. They snuck out of there with a win. I think Josh Allen, of course, he's always going to wow you with some of the throws, but, his numbers didn't exactly just pop off at you this week. He didn't, this wasn't one of his unbelievable multi-touchdown performances where he carries them on his back. I mean, they got down and they came back and won. There you go. Josh Allen, fine. Aaron Rodgers. I thought Aaron Rodgers was fine. The Jets are so bad, and I know Aaron Rodgers is going to be a major topic of discussion when people talk about what a disappointing season this ended up being for the Jets. But I will just say that I don't think you can lay all of this at the feet of Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers has not had a bad season. I mean, he had a couple of disappointing games in there, but as a whole, his numbers aren't bad. I just really think the Jets organization as a whole is in such shambles. And, Aaron Rodgers was fine, and I think he's not been their biggest issue this season. Drake May. I'm going to say I thought Drake May was fine as well. Going against the best team in the league, probably in Buffalo, at least top 3 team in the league in Buffalo. I thought that Drake May held his own. Thought he did a nice job. I think there's a lot of excitement surrounding him. I thought he did fine. Tua Tagovailoa, I'll say Tua was good. I think Tua was good this week. I think Tua has had a good season. He's had a couple of duds in there. Obviously he got hurt and missed some time, but I think that Tua, if you're Miami, you absolutely go with him again next year. It's just the cold weather games and things like that kind of, make you nervous about him. But I think Tua's mostly been good this year. Caleb Williams, God bless him. I thought Caleb Williams was good. This poor guy, I say it every week. This poor guy is just on a Chicago Bears team that is in complete shambles. And he's not in a good situation, but I think he's shown more than enough to encourage the fans to feel good about him going forward if they can get the right coach, because I think he's been good. I thought he was good on Sunday. Sam Darnold in a clutch win over the Seahawks. I thought Darnold was great. I know with my Tennessee Titans, Sam Darnold has been thrown out there as a potential option for the Titans at quarterback next year. I've been vocal that I'm not crazy about doing it because I don't want to pay Sam Darnold that much. I don't think he would have as much success in Tennessee as he does in Minnesota. But you can't deny he's just been really, really solid for the Vikings this year. And it's not just because of the weapons around him. It's not just because, you couldn't just stick anybody in there and have them do well. I mean, Sam Darnold is making some really nice throws. And we saw some of those on Sunday. Jared Goff, I thought Jared Goff was great as well against the Bears. I mean, Jared Goff is just his career revival that he has had in Detroit is something to behold, and I think that he was great again on Sunday. Jordan Love for the Packers, I mean, Jordan Love was good. They beat the Saints so bad. It was like this is just two teams that didn't even belong on the same field together. But Jordan Love did good, and the Packers did what they were supposed to do. They destroyed a very inferior opponent. Dorian Thompson-Robinson with the Browns, trash. Just the Browns are in a pickle at quarterback because I don't know where they're going to end up in the draft, but they're just in a tough situation. Joe Burrow, I thought Joe was great. I think Joe Burrow's been great. If the Bengals had a couple of more wins, I think Joe Burrow would be in the MVP discussion, but you can't put somebody in the MVP discussion when their team's 7-8. But I think Burrow was great again. He's been great all year. Russell Wilson, this is a tough one. I don't know. I thought Russell was poor. I thought Russell Wilson was poor. Had a couple of good throws, but I mean, this was a huge game for Pittsburgh. They had a 1-game lead in the division. You win this one, and it's just a done deal. And I just thought Russell Wilson's performance left a lot to be desired. Been a tough couple of weeks for the Steelers because everything was going their way at one point, and now playing tougher opponents. Lamar, I thought Lamar was great. I think Lamar has really been great all year, and he's a special player. Geno Smith, I thought Geno was good. I mean, I know they lost, but he went toe-to-toe with a really good Vikings defense, made some nice throws, had the Seahawks right there, but Sam Darnold just kind of outgunned him. But I thought Geno was good. Kyler Murray, poor. Thought Kyler was poor. I mean, I just don't know what the Cardinals do with Kyler Murray this offseason because it's not working. The Kyler Murray experiment in Arizona is just not working. This season that once looked so promising for the Arizona Cardinals has completely gone off a cliff. And I don't know, because they signed him to a massive contract, and I don't know what they're going to do with him this offseason, but it is not working there. Brock Purdy in a losing effort, but I still thought Purdy was good. I'm a Brock Purdy guy. I like Brock Purdy. I know a lot of people are wondering what the 49ers are going to do with him. I think the 49ers are going to bring him back, and they're going to give him a big contract is what I think is going to happen. I think, Brock Purdy has proven that he's good. All of this narrative that, he needs Deebo Samuel, he needs Christian McCaffrey. I mean, the 49ers need those guys, but I still think Brock Purdy has performed pretty well even when those guys are out. So I think Brock Purdy did well this week. Matthew Stafford, it was fine. In a win over the Jets. The Rams have gotten a couple of ugly wins, but they're important wins because the Rams are clinging, I think, to a half-game lead in the NFC West, and the Seahawks lost. So, I mean, this was a huge win for the Rams as they're creating separation between them and the rest of that division with 2 games to go. Thought Stafford was fine, but Stafford was really balling at one point this season. We'll see if he can get back to that. Aiden O'Connell with the Raiders. I mean, whatever. He was fine. It's just, it was the Raiders versus the Jaguars. With 2 backup quarterbacks in, Aiden O'Connell for the Raiders, Mac Jones for the Jags. This was a two top 5 draft pick teams. And, they both put up better numbers than usual because they were playing the Raiders and the Jaguars. But I thought Aiden O'Connell was fine. Made one really nice play on a third down. But Bo Nix. Bo Nix. He's had such a good rookie year. I thought Bo was good. I mean, came up short against the Chargers, but you have to remember the Chargers have such a good defense, and he hung in there. And, Justin Herbert, just been in the league a little longer. I think Herbert kind of outshined him. But I still say Herbert was good. I don't know if Herbert was good enough to put into the great category. No, I'll put Herbert into great. I think Justin Herbert has very quietly had a really good year. Started slow, but he got there. I'll put Herbert into great. I think Justin Herbert has really been solid this year. And I think he just showed he's got the experience over Bo Nix, and I think that's kind of what led the Chargers over the Broncos both times they played them. Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes was good. I mean, it's just the Chiefs. They feel fraudulent, but you can't call them fraudulent because they're going to get to the playoffs and start beating everybody. But I still thought Mahomes was good. I mean, the referees, it's just unbelievable some of the calls the Chiefs get, but whatever. Baker Mayfield came up short against the Cowboys. I still thought Baker was good. I thought Baker's been good. I mean, this is a bad loss for Tampa Bay because now they do not control their own destiny anymore. But I still thought Baker was good against the Cowboys. Bryce Young, sir. He was good. And I am so happy for him. I like Bryce Young. Hated to see him struggling early in the year, but what a turnaround for him. I think Bryce Young has really shown a lot of promise, and I thought he was quite good against the Cardinals this week. Michael Penix in his debut with the Falcons. I thought Penix was fine. They were playing the Giants. He had an interception, but that interception was 100% on Kyle Pitts. We'll see. I mean, here's the thing. They play the Commanders this week, I think in prime time. That's when you're going to find out what you got with Michael Penix. That's when you're going to find out. This was a by-the-books game where the Falcons played the worst team or the next to worst team in the NFL. So we'll see about Penix, but I thought he was fine for his debut. Spencer Rattler with the Saints. Trash. Moving on. Anthony Richardson against my Titans. I think he only threw the ball 10 times. I'll say AR was fine. Whatever. He's a good running back, and he, didn't have to throw the ball much because the Titans' run defense was so bad that it just didn't require passing. And, what is Anthony Richardson not very good at? Passing, and the Titans made it to where he didn't even have to. CJ Stroud, I thought was good. I'll say CJ was good. He had a couple of turnovers, but CJ Stroud I think is going to struggle in the playoffs because Tank Dell out, Stephon Diggs out. They got the guy that was in Baltimore that was causing all the trouble, but I still think CJ Stroud's good. I think he's regressed overall, but Stroud was good. Mac Jones, I'm also going to put into the fine category. Again, he's playing the Raiders. Had the long touchdown to Brian Thomas. These are just a couple of backups going against bad defenses. And speaking of backups, the last quarterback to talk about here is Mason Rudolph, who played for the Titans against the Colts. Had a couple of really bad interceptions. I guess Mason was fine. I mean, it is what it is with the Titans. They don't have a starting quarterback on the roster. They don't have a starting caliber quarterback on the roster. Mason Rudolph brings like that much more stability to the offense, but they were down 38-7. There's just no good options for the Titans. And so Mason Rudolph is just kind of a placeholder until we can get to the end of this year and figure out what the heck we're going to do next year. So there's your tiers for Week 16 in the great tier. Jaden Daniels, Sam Darnold, Jared Goff, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Justin Herbert. In the good category, Cooper Rush, Tua Tagovailoa, Caleb Williams, Jordan Love, Geno Smith, Brock Purdy, Bo Nix, Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, Bryce Young, and C.J. Stroud. In the fine category, Kenny Pickett, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Drake May, Matthew Stafford, Aiden O'Connell, Michael Penix, Anthony Richardson, Mac Jones, and Mason Rudolph. In the poor category, Drew Lock, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray. In the trash, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and Spencer Rattler. That is the tier rankings for this week. Let me know what you think. Tighten up. Merry Christmas. Bye.